Hi, hello, and welcome to Straightforward. We're in episode 2 of season 2. We're coming to you live from the Jamaica Pegasus, and we still have Strictly Root Spring Water on board with us. Thank you for joining us. Today, we're going to talk to somebody really very special. He is a terrestrial biologist. Now, you heard it in the promo, and I got so many calls about what is that? What does that do? Damion Whyte is my special guest on Straightforward. Damion, welcome to the program. Well, listen, I used to watch Damion on television. I follow him on Twitter, and I'm a subscriber now on YouTube, and I see all of his things. He really makes you want to be afraid when you just start watching, but then after a while, you kind of say, but if his brother is so comfortable with these things, why shouldn't I be? All right, terrestrial biologist. First of all, tell us what that is.
The simplest way to call a terrestrial biologist is somebody who don't like water. So like you have the marine biologists that are out there in the sea looking at corals and all of that. Terrestrial biologists are mostly the one that is on land. That is a simple way of putting it.
Oh.
So I'm not the person who will on the sea with scuba gear and diving there. I'm more on land with all that stuff.
Can you swim?
Yes, I can.
Oh, okay. All right. So you don't mind water then, but...
No, I don't mind. But the strange thing is that I used to love going water when I even couldn't swim.
Oh.
I was one of those daring persons who jump off, but
Well, he hails from Clarendon, so I'm a real Milk River and all them fabulous places.
Well, which part I come from down there, so no, it's only pond where I come from, Standard Day, no river.
Oh, all right. All right, so listen now. Tell us a little bit about your early life in terms of school and parish where you come from and all them kind of things.
Well, let's put it. I grew up in Clarendon. I grew up on what you call a small farm. So we grew up with pigs, goat, cow, donkey, you name it, birds and all of that. So at morning time, I used to have to tie up the goat. You know, the big ram, you carry them out before I go to school.
Oh.
And them time I have to get up and bathe in the cold water. So everybody know I don't love cold water, but yeah. And then there I went to Glenmuir High School.
Quite a brilliant, yeah. Glenmuir has a extremely good track record.
Yes. So, so at Glenmuir, I did the sciences. Initially, I wanted to be a farmer. I wanted to do in agriculture. But you know, when you go traditional high school, they either tell you that you either want to become a lawyer, doctor, or something. So after a while, I took it up. So I wanted to be a doctor. But I imagine what kind of doctor I would be, because I'm afraid of blood right now. If I'm trying to give blood, you know, a number of people have to rub down my back, so I'm afraid of blood.
You're afraid of blood and you're not afraid of lizard?
No, I'm afraid that the injection needle come. I'm afraid I will run from here. Yeah, I don't like the smell of hospital. I don't like cuts. So you can imagine what kind of doctor.
You don't like cuts? No. I've seen you in some bush, trees and all them something. So you've never gotten cuts?
No, well, growing up, you know, my mother would tell you that the doctor know me by every pet name. I have got all sorts of cuts. Cut on the window, cut jumping off a ledge. I always get cut my finger, you name it. I was one of those boys that was always at the doctor.
Oh, dear.
So my mother would tell you that, but you know. And she also told me that before I came at the house, she used to have a lovely flowers garden. But me as a baby now, I would go out there and say, Mommy, pretty flowers, and pick the flowers, and carry go give her. So you know what happened to our garden after a while? This boy picking the flowers. But.
Oh, you're a romantic. We'll get to that in a little while.
Call it romantic, or I should call it destruction to our garden.
Yeah, so tell me, continue to talk about your time at Glenmuir.
Well, at Glenmuir, that was fun. I wouldn't tell you that I was a football star, but I loved the sports. So I could run, I play football, and you name it. At Glenmuir, I should put it, one of the most interesting stuff at it. I was one of those that you call the late bloomers. I mean, meaning that from I know myself, I was hyperactive. So I wasn't one that really loved the book. And I remembered one of the main reasons why I love my mom so much. I remembered in fifth form when the first time I did my CXCs. And my mom talked to one of the guidance counselors. She asked my mother, why I waste time for sending him to go university? Maybe university enough for him.
Really?
Yes. And my mother looked at her and told her, said, he's going to university.
And look which for you then now.
And look what, and I could tell her that every day I remember that event. And some other friends tell me about it. So just remember that sometimes you're being the troublemaker or the hyperactive people.
Right.
That there's time for blooming.
No, but, that's strange thing because now that you're into the outside world, we call it.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you're out in the woods and out in the bushes and so, when you're reflecting and you're walking through before you find the animal that you're the vertebrate. You see?
Like the way.
I'm learning these words. What do you reflect on? What do you think about most?
Well, when I'm out there looking for it, I mostly think about growing up with my grandparents. Because one of the love that I have for nature came from my grandparents. Every summer, my mother used to, rural life already, them send you to country. So my country was in St. Mary, and I grew up with my grandparents. And I love my grandparents, Mama and Papa. So every morning, they would get up or go to the woodside kitchen and you make your coffee, tea, and stuff. But my grandfather used to speak to all the animals. Oh. You'd hear him cussing the birds, say you're not behaving, and the bird and him hot, and him cuss the bird, say bad behavior. Him talk to the goat, he talk to the pigs. Everything was respected. You couldn't go to your bed knowing that the goat wasn't there or the pig. So I think I have that, because when I go out in the field, I'm there talking to the birds. I see a lizard and I say, you nice little thing. I talk to the crocodile, I say, hey, you're looking good. And I think I get a lot of that from my grandparents.
Oh, some of the ladies who are watching, I'm going to say, oh, Damion is crazy. He must be crazy.
Well, that's what I'm told every time. I remember one of my mother friends looked at her, I said, imagine before him grew up, he used to run down lizard. Him go university and him come back and count lizard again. Well, what is it? They thought I would have been doing something different. But yeah.
Yeah, so you have a Bachelor of Science in Environmental Biology. Oh, tell us what that entails.
Well, okay. So I mentioned before, when I left Denmark, I went to UWI. And at UWI, coming there first, you didn't know what you wanted to do. So I was still in the thought that, hey, I wanted to do medicine, even though I tell you that I didn't like it. And there was one of these professors. His name was Dr. Steele. No, he was the head of the department, and he came in the lab and said, this boy chat too much. He would use the R word. I can find something for you, since you chat so much. I was there laughing and that. And he carried me to one of the NGOs, which was BirdLife Jamaica. And from there, so my life in the environment started there. And that's how I was put on the path to do environmental biology. So from that day, I've been in the environmental circle forever. And it was just Dr. Steele who saw me and said, that boy chat too much. Again, find something for you to do.
All right, so like in your first year, what were some of the main courses that you studied?
Okay, so first year, when I went there, we had biology, chemistry, and maths. So it was just the basics. That's that's what you normally do. A number of people come to the university at the time. That was the faculty of pure applied sciences, which changed now to SciTech. Oh. So yeah, you can know that I'm not that young when I said pure applied sciences. You can check. But a number of people when they come into the university pick up those 3 subjects because they want to get into medicine.
Medicine,
Right. But when I pick it up, I find out that I didn't like medicine. I found out that I love biology a lot. And that's how I went over and started the other course. Did zoology, forestry, conservation biology. Some stuff that I didn't like and some stuff that I had a special love for.
So as early as you started with the, at UWI, were you sitting on committees? Were you going to the NGOs and you started to talk to people outside and all them something?
Yes, because when I tell you that, my first year at the university, when Dr. Steve came into BirdLife Jamaica, that's an NGO. And it's one of the, at the time it was one very active NGO.
Right, yeah.
And from here in BirdLife Jamaica, you know most of the other NGOs.
NGOs, right.
So they employed me at the time for the summer. So every summer I had a job.
Nice.
And then from that I started doing stuff for National Environmental Planning Agency, where I was doing assisting with their bird counts for game bird shooting. I used to, yes, because what you have to do before they have the annual bird shooting, which is normally in August, you had to do some pre-surveys to make sure that there's enough birds. So I get onto that. And then at the time, I was working with legendary Dr. Peter Vogel, who then taught me a lot and bring me to some other NGO because he was the top biologist in Jamaica.
Yeah, I've seen you on some videos.
Right, he taught me everything.
Oh.
He passed, which I can't tell you, talking about it, it really hurt.
Okay.
But yeah, he taught me a lot.
All right, so we're coming up to the break in the first segment. It's very interesting. Damion Whyte is still here with us. And we're coming to you live from the Jamaica Pegasus. Now remember, the Jamaica Pegasus has some exciting features coming up. They have co-work, they have weekend getaways, and they have staycations. Here's a commercial which tells you about the co-work.
Connect, create, and collaborate in the Jamaica Pegasus's new co-working spaces designed for you. Host your meetings in our office for one or office for up to 4 persons. Book your private office space today for 4 hours, 1 day, 7 days, or more, and get free Wi-Fi, coffee, bottled water, concierge service, free parking, discounted meals, and more. Reserve your office space today by calling 876-926-3690 or visit www.jamaicapegasus.com.
They also have a weekend getaway, so you can get something as early as, it's book early. Because US $132 per night, single or double, and that's a great deal. You get breakfast and all them things. The Pegasus is Kingston's preferred hotel, and we also have another commercial which tells you about that.
Looking for the perfect weekend? Treat yourself to a relaxing stay at the Jamaica Pegasus with our weekend getaway specials starting at $132 US, now until December. Enjoy a complimentary buffet breakfast, discounted spa services, early check-in, late checkout, and more. To book your weekend getaway, visit www.jamaicapegasus.com or call us at 876-926-3690.
Lots of really exciting stuff at the Pegasus. Remember, there's a Friday lime at the pool, weather permitting, and if it's not at the pool, it's upstairs in the blend. And all the protocols here are observed. 6 feet apart, you have to wear your mask, and have sanitization station and all that kind of thing. But we continue with our discussion with Damion Whyte. And boy, let me tell you, Damion, I'm learning so much as I go along. I had the questions ready, but now you tell me some things all right, so you did the holiday job with the environmental NGO and stuff. And of course, I know you have been to the cockpit country. We're one of our most, exotic bird collection. Tell me about that.
Well, part of being BirdLife Jamaica, you had some good mentors. So some of the people were like Catherine Levy, that the bird world we know about, and Dr. Vogel and Susan Koenig. So part of what BirdLife normally do is go down cockpit country. So because I'm active in the circle, I would go down there, and some of the birds that we'll be looking for down there, you had this bird, the plain pigeon, which the normal bird wouldn't see it. So you could be going out in the field for a year and you don't see it. So I remember one of my first visits to cockpit country, I saw it. Well, first it was this blim, and everybody was like, oh, excited, and I was like, yeah, where is it, where is it? And the second time I saw the bird down there. I also, down there you have the Windsor Cave, and they brought me down there where they were teaching about bats with this professor, with some visiting experts. I can tell you that what I remember about the first time there, it was muddy, it was dirty, everybody had their own swarm of mosquitoes. So you walk in there, so it's like a cartoon. You see these big swarms over your head, and you have your swarms. So we go up and we start
What
talking.
side you enter the cockpit country from?
I enter the side where Usain Bolt lives. So that's what Sherwood,
Content.
and go down to Windsor.
Windsor,
Right. And when Windsor there, you meet up on the Windsor Cave, and you can stop by the Windsor Great House. So one of the first thing that baptized you there is mosquitoes. And then after mosquito, rain. And then rain, mosquito. But it was fun, the birding down there is fabulous.
Fantastic, yes, right here.
And the river there, and if you like snakes, which one of the places that you can see the lovely
yellow snake. If you like what? Damon, stop. If you like what?
Snakes.
Anybody, apart from you, you know anybody that likes snakes?
A number of people love snakes, man. We have the yellow boa, our endemic snake. Which can get up. Well, I've caught some 6, maybe 8 or 9 feet. Not so bad. You might have some bigger one. And you can see them down there hanging out at the cave, catching the bats when they come out.
They're not dangerous?
No, they're not dangerous. I mean, when they see you, they disappear. They run. But like people like me, we might go, when we're doing studies, we catch them. And, most animals, when you try to catch them, they're going to react. So, I mean, you might get a little bite or something. But it's not bad. I mean,
so that's the yellow boa that's endemic to Jamaica?
Yes.
Anything else that we have?
Okay, so down there, down Cockpit or in general?
Cockpit country.
Okay, so in Cockpit now. So when I mentioned about the caves, in Jamaica we have 21 species of bat. You can find up to more than half of the bats in that cave. And the bats, when you go at like 6 o'clock, you see the bats forming a long line flying out, what we call a flight line. So people think that bats are blind. They can see pretty good.
Oh dear. So then when you said that you're blind as a bat, that don't mean nothing,
That don't mean, because the bat down there have eye, moon, right? So because they have to come out of that environment, they have to use echolocation to navigate. But they can see very well. And you go in the cave, they're looking at you and you're looking back at them. But just don't talk too much in the cave.
Oh.
Because stuff might drop in your mouth, Yeah, they might be using their bathroom and you're like, you're like.
They might be using the bathroom. Okay.
Yeah, I've got a number of showers in there at times, when you go there and talking and they just pee and do their stuff. But
oh dear.
it's the love that you have.
Bats, birds, what else?
You have bats, you have birds, you have a lot of endemic plants down there.
Oh yeah, all right, so the plants are not dangerous.
No, well.
So we're going to talk.
Well, some of them very poisonous,
Poisonous, yeah. All right. So, oh boy, yellow boa. Which other snake we have that is?
Okay, we have a snake that everybody's seen now. It's a small boa. They call it the dwarf boa. And that's down there a lot. Very, like you see some of them have a brown, black color. You have different variation.
What do you wear when you go on a tour like that? Because like these shoes, I was telling Damion that I wanted water boots when I was coming to the show. But I said, you know what? I am not the terrestrial biologist. We really need to wear a water boot right so now. What's your mode of dress to ensure that you're protected? Well,
today I'm a good boy now, all dressed up. But normally, I would be in a jeans pants or, we scientists within these, what you call it, wet, dry pants with cargo pockets, a lot of pockets.
Oh.
And a key thing that we normally do is have these big, long socks. And we either stuff the pants in the socks or that. The reason why we wear long socks, because you have the beautiful grass lice that you go in some of these pastures. They like to go to dark, warm areas, and if they lodge there, somebody have to get a light and take them off. And the dark areas of your body, your below your arm and that, they love to go there. And they will itch. So you'll be there scratching. And if they bite too much, you might be at the doctor because it's sort of. So grass lice is one of your biggest enemies. Oh. So sometimes we're carrying out some university students out there, and they wear the nice, like a fancy two tops and all these nice shorts, and I'm like, you're going out there to feed the grass lice. Are you going out there to feed the mosquitoes? The
mosquitoes, yes.
So the thing is to wear pants.
Things that cover.
Right, and then the next thing we normally wear a lot of long sleeve shirt. Reason again, you remember I tell you that all of us can have our swarm of mosquitoes. And some of these mosquitoes do not respect repellent. It's like they don't know about repellent.
Them don't respect certain material.
Right.
Them go through your clothes.
Yeah. One of my earlier days in doing stuff in Cockpit country, Catherine Lever and Dr. Vogel used to smoke a lot. Oh. And I never used to stay too far from them because it seemed like the smoke used to run the mosquitoes. So I would be like around them. Oh, yes. Try not to get the second hand, but the mosquitoes were, you'd be like scratching and all that. So, proper clothing is, and the next thing that I always tell people who go out there, you have to tuck the shirt in your pants because exposed skin, that's proper area for grass lice, mosquitoes, and horsefly, what I hate a lot, that would go in. So you have to know those stuff about clothes.
Yeah.
Because you know a bird when they come out because we are in these cargo pants, these long shirts. We don't dress up in the field,
So do you actually wear what?
Insect repellent?
No. Is it light color or dark color?
Oh,
which is
that's another key thing.
Right.
So when you wear a lot of dark colors, you can't see when certain insects or stuff on you. So we normally wear more light colors.
So the khaki is perfect.
Yeah, the khakis are perfect. And with the nice cargo pants, as I tell you, dry fast. If you're going into areas that have a lot of torn, maca, it not work good. It just rip through, so you have to wear your jeans. So normally a lot of people going to wear them old clothes, old jeans or whatever. So it's not something you dress up and feel hot. Oh, I have to wear my makeup. No. Do not
So if there are any youngsters, young ladies out there who want to get into this business, well, apart from following Damion on Twitter, roosters_world, or follow him on YouTube, you know, here are some ways and means that you can start to prepare yourself. All right, so we love the idea that you tour, so you know Jamaica, you know all the caves and the corners and crevices in Jamaica. Where else outside of the cockpit country would you find endemic stuff like bats and snakes and so on?
All right, so the part of it that I travel Jamaica, part of the world that I never explained to you. When I was introduced to the NGO world, I also did a lot of environmental consultancy.
Consultancy, right?
Right. I know nearly every firm because when the stuff get very challenging, they ask you to look into it. So by doing stuff like that, you get the chance for them to pay for you to go to other areas and see stuff. Why not? Because let me put it to you this. Field work, conservation takes money. So you have to put money in the vehicle. Our gears are very expensive.
Expensive, right?
Yeah, most of the stuff you see I put on, so a bat detector. It's in the US, it's a lot of money. One of the small ones is like 200 US when you put in all the kit. Some of the others go up to 2,000. So it's very, right. People might see you with it and see the equipment is very expensive. So in doing all of this work, it brings you around. So for example, I took up this hobby now at looking at bats. So for example, in Jamaica, when I mentioned we have 21 species of bats, 4 are endemic. About 3 of them are critically endangered. And one of them that I have a love for is in Portland, the Stone Hill Cave in Portland. Now, it's less than 200 of these bats in the world, and they're in that cave. The other day, me and Susan, Dr. Cohen, did a study and we found some in Green Grotto.
Oh, yes. You know, I was going to ask about Green
so
Grotto.
I put some posting about it. But the key thing about it, these bats love hot cave. So when you go to the Stone Hill Cave, you hear it burping. Like after a while, with the wind coming out, it like makes a burping sound. And the next thing about it, it's hot. So it's a hot cave. It gets up to about 40 degrees Celsius or more.
Really?
Yes. So it's very hot. And the thing about it, for these bats, they go in the caves. So, because it's hot, not many predators can live in there. So it's safe for them.
Oh, dear.
But
boy, Damion, listen, me feel like we have to go open a school for you to really take us through all this endemic stuff about Jamaica, knowledge of environment. I mean, we're coming up to the halfway break, but when you put it all together, how valuable is this information for us as residents of Jamaica to really know these things? Well,
the first thing, it gives you a national pride. Because when people find out that we have so many special stuff that are only found here, it gives a lot of people feel good knowing that it is endemic, it's only found here. But another thing that a lot of people are not thinking about, a lot of the endemic thing has a lot of monetary value for the future. Meaning we don't know what stuff may have a cancer curing, might cure some illnesses. So we have to find ways to protect it. We don't know the value. A lot of the stuff we have here, we have limited information. There's few scientists here that are studying. And we're losing it. And people might see it, oh, this is just a plant. Oh, it's just this animal. But when you lose it, you don't know what value you lose in the whole ecosystem. So,
boy, listen, you're tuned in to Straightforward. This is program 2 for season 2. Damion Whyte, our terrestrial biologist, is here. And you would have heard him know everywhere in Jamaica, all the caves and so on. But when he's not busy doing all of that, he's pursuing a PhD in zoology. Anyway, we're going to take a break. But when we come back, we'll continue the discussion. Hi, I'm Carol Bedford, and I'm your host for Straightforward. Season 1 brought you some of the best acts to follow. We took you to the cricket pitch, the studio, musical stage, classroom, and behind the scenes. Our theme embraces nation building and role modeling. You'll hear stories you've never heard before. Let us take you on that journey. So join us for season 2, which is coming up soon. Straightforward, always a step ahead. Straightforward is brought to you by Strictly Roots Water. My roots, my water. Straightforward is shot on location at the Jamaica Pegasus, Kingston's preferred hotel. Welcome back. We're in the third segment of Straightforward. I mean, Damion, you're telling me some things, boy. I feel like I almost want to extend the show. But seriously though, so the caves, the bats 21 endemic, bats that are endemic to Jamaica. We talk about the snakes. There's a picture that you have on the profile you sent me. You have a, what is, tell the listeners and the viewers what this is.
Oh, that's one of our lovely crocodiles that we have in here.
Lovely and crocodile in the same sentence.
Yeah. They are misunderstood, you know. They're pretty nice animals.
That's funny. Crocodiles are misunderstood. Explain that to me in English language.
Well, you know, typically you keep on hearing out there that people said, oh, we're afraid of it. Let me start here. The crocodile is a dangerous animal. But our folklore believe that the crocodile will see you standing here and he's going to leave out of the river and run you down and eat you. They are not like that. Our crocodiles, compared to the Nile and the Australian saltwater crocodiles, are pretty shy. They do not want to be around you. If they see you, they move. The thing is, they get as most...
All right, no, stop. Say that again about the crocodiles in Jamaica.
Our crocodiles are very shy. So if you go into a habitat where they are, the first thing that they do is move away. They don't want to be around you. So whenever I go around like a switch pond where they're at, or I go to a river, as soon as they hear, when we are doing survey, they dive, they disappear. So one of the myths that we have, it's going to run you down. No, they're not going to run you down. However, I should state, it's a dangerous animal. So from time to time, because we have some occasion where there's attacks in Jamaica, and one of the things that some of our fishermen like to do, you go into an area like in the Rio Mina where you're fishing for crocodiles. You shoot the fish. You put the fish, some of our divers and stuff like to put their fish inside of their diving pants, which is excluding blood, which attracts a predator. No, he's going for the fish.
Absolutely.
So that's why sometimes we tell them to put the fish in a bag. So yeah, I do a lot of stuff with crocodiles.
Me still not believe so them shy, because you can't, no sir. No.
Yeah man, I'm a fact, I might carry one of these stuff and show you how.
One of the episodes for season 2, we're going on the road, right? Listen, there's a place that I go to that I run on the beach, walk on the beach, right? And they found a crocodile out there the other day.
In Kingston?
Yes, Kingston and St. Andrew.
Yeah.
I think a river comes into that part of the sea. So you could see that the crocodile was actually running. You're right, because they were in a water, in a space that they weren't normally accustomed to being in. How should we as people react and respond to something like that? You're on the beach. It's near a river, over rain, and you see a 6-foot, a small, gentle crocodile is around you. How do you behave?
Well, the first thing I should put here that a lot of people are not aware, our crocodile is a saltwater crocodile. So it lives in both. You can find it on the beach and you find it at the river. And we have built a lot of our structures in their habitat. So a number of times it's their natural range. They were always there, but they have been hiding. What we tell people that doing, especially like now with the raining season, if you see a crocodile, leave it alone, call NEPA. And they will deal with it. Don't bother go out there, because I know a number of people watching programs, US programs like Gator Boys, a lot of crocodile show where people take off their shirts, jump on the crocodile, and they are experts. Leave it for the experts. Just call. Most time the animal just going to be there and he's going to go about his merry business. But we know a number of people not going to feel safe, so call the expert. And most time what we do, we come and move it.
All right, so let me ask you, if I'm walking on the sandy part, obviously the part where we can walk and run on the sand,
yeah,
and I see the crocodile come down in the water, am I in any immediate danger?
No, you're not in any immediate danger. But the
Say
best
more
thing,
run me down, he or she won't run me down
no,
on the
most,
sand?
all right. You see, when you see on the sun, most time what you're going to watch is they run into the water. However, there's an exception to this rule. Right. So if you go in an area where they're nesting and you're walking on the nest,
Aha.
mommy, as any mommy, not going to be too happy, so she will chase you.
Rotted.
She's running from her nest.
Okay.
So that's why we always tell people that during the breeding season, you know what can happen.
What is the breeding season,
The
pray tell?
breeding season is normally early, starting like December, January. And, you know, the big top male get the most females. So the little male who now reach big man stage, him get, you see them have to move out of the area and get eaten.
All right, so if a crocodile run you down, what are you supposed to do?
Run fast, just run. Yeah, people tell us to bend up like S and all of that. They're very fast. So if they were really running you down, they would catch it. But it's short burst. It's very short burst. It's like a lizard. They run about 10, 15 meters and then they stop.
Aaron, me love you. Me love the things you do. You're not convinced me. Me not get one.
You afraid of ground lizard?
Afraid is not the word.
Okay.
I don't want to be where they are.
Oh, okay. And those ground lizards that you see running up and down, you know, they are endemic too. That species only found here.
Me not going to where ground lizard them I use. I have 1 or 2 croakers at home. I'm not afraid of them.
Right.
I am not going to allow a croaker not to allow me to sleep in my bed.
Okay. That's the male singing a song to him female, you know. Like he said, will you marry me? So anytime you hear the croaking.
I wonder why you choose a song. We're not going to tell you what's happening offset, people. Anyway. No, all right. So croakers, we talk about crocodiles, we talk about bats. We talk about the fabulous birds. What else? What are some of the other vertebrates that you check on around the island?
Well, another vertebrate that a lot of people like talk about is the Galax. And people, yes. So they are showing up a lot in people's yard, especially right now. You know, it might get lost in the way. So, you know, Jamaican folklore, so if Galax bite you and reach water before you, you got dead. And it have venom and all sorts of stuff. So what I normally do in social media is get a Galax, hold him, let him bite my hand and let him see. It's a lizard. The Galax is very shy.
You keep using that word.
Yeah. But most of our reptiles, you know, when as they see you, they run.
Not gossip.
It is so hard for us to survey them because they are running. I mean, as they see you, it's like, so you just have to know that. So the Galax is a lizard. It don't have no venom. It can, no venom, and I say it over, no venom, it can poison you, it won't kill you. It's just one of our endemic lizards. Oh. And we have a...
What's the biological name for the Galax, please?
Well, let me put, you have a number. Okay. So the scientific name for the genus is Celestus. Oh. And then after that, you have a number of species there. So Celestus crocodile is one of the common one. And people call it snake boy, or that one is native. But then you have some others like you or I that is normally found up Stony Hill. Can catch a size about that, a pretty big lizard. Yeah, so like have people call in and say, boy, they see a Galax. Before they would kill it, now I start posting a lot of stuff. And now a number of people calling out now and say they won't kill it.
Okay, remember you follow him on Twitter, roosters_world, and that's his name on all of his platforms. Instagram, where else? You do Facebook?
Yeah, I do Facebook, I do Twitter, I do IG, I even do LinkedIn. I just put this stuff because you have different audience out there.
All right. In the last segment, we're going to talk a little bit about the zoology and get into your personal life a little, you know, about things you eat and so on. Oh, yeah. What else? The plants. Plants. I mean, these are not vertebrates, but plants are endemic to Jamaica. And you'd have gone into different pockets of places around the island, you know, Cockpit, you go to all the caves. I mean, I grudge you for that because I actually like adventure and I love the outdoor. I'm not going to no more cave. I've been to Green Grotto, I go Hellshire. I've been to Windsor.
I've been to Windsor. You like the mud?
I don't mind the mud, but that was in my younger days. But where else? Where else can we find plants?
Okay, well, all right, let me put it this way. The special plants in Jamaica are, I could say, everywhere. But the thing is, we don't know them. So a number of the plant books that have been written, one of the plant books that we have, that we call at the university is the Adam. I think the book is The Flowering Plants of Jamaica. When you read that book, as a zoologist here, I'm not a botanist, but it's like you have to get another book to transcribe what it is saying in there. It is written in botanical language. So it's like you have to get another book. There's no picture. And you know, our generation now move with pictures. So a lot of the plant stuff, you would have to go to the herbarium. The herbarium is where they have like some collections and stuff like that. And to look at the specimens. So what I normally do when I go out in the field, I take pictures of a lot of plants. I've found some very interesting plants, and one of them is one that we call Bursera olucii, which is critical endangered, meaning that few of them. It looked like the red birch. The red birch, everybody know, some people call it gumbo lumber, some call it the tourist tree, because when you scratch the bark, it chip off when people get sunburned. So this tree is very...
I have to go bring back David and never give me too much information.
Yeah. So,
I'll be confused because I don't even know what next to ask you. No, but seriously though, plants, animals, vertebrates, different kind. Boy, what is it about this environmental space that Jamaica that we can capitalize on? Because I'm hearing all this information. You're obviously still excited about doing this thing. What is it about that can bring any kind of, any additional value to Jamaica?
Okay, let's put it, okay. So before you can find the value of something, you have to know what you have.
Right.
And part of what we go in is get the baseline information. So some of the plants that we have, like, we're looking for this endemic annona, which is soursop. Jamaica have 2 annonas. Most countries only have 1. The value of stuff like this is genetically, because it's endemic, it has some genes that the others don't have. And people across the world who are growing fruits need genetic material like that, which costs millions. But we are not aware of it. So to have information about the genetic stuff that you have, that's millions. Medicinal value, there is...
We soon talk about that. We're going to take a break. It sounds like we need a drink of water. Remember, the program is also brought to you by Strictly Roots Water. My roots, my water. All right. The hidden beauty of fieldwork in Jamaica. That's one of your videos that you posted a couple months ago. You have the cowtongue fern. You have the West Indian whistling duck. What's that?
Okay, so the West Indian whistling duck. All right, so in the Caribbean, I should say, all right, most of the wetland birds that we have, that is the bird you find in a mangrove swamp around the coast. Most of them that we have are not, we call it native, so they are found in other countries. The West Indian whistling duck is endemic to the Caribbean, so it's only found in the Caribbean.
But how it got to Jamaica,
well,
you know?
Well, they can fly. They can fly. Some of them migrate.
All right, so let me ask a really silly question, and don't judge me, people who are watching. Can a duck fly from Trinidad to Jamaica?
Yes, we having ducks fly from North America to here. We have a bird now, the yellow-bellied cuckoo, that was flying from North America to South America, and the other day the hurricane knocked off the flight path, and we have hundreds now in the Portmore area.
Are you serious?
Yes.
No, all right, so because you study these things, is there a pattern of how they would fly? Give me an idea of...
Okay, so all right, so just leaving North America.
Because I know someone they want to ask him that about the duck flying, so I don't feel so bad.
It's not only the duck, you know. We have some little small birds that we call Christmas bird, them little small warblers that we see only show up in Christmas.
Yeah.
So just, let me put it. So the ducks and these small warblers, they normally arrive in Jamaica like August. And then they depart April, like as early as April, to go back to North America. So they come here to escape the winter. So they have been doing transatlantic flights or enjoying the Caribbean much longer than us.
Oh boy, we need another program for talk to them, and because I'm not getting in business yet. Papaya, I see you do the papaya. I'm looking at his Facebook page, remember his YouTube links. Remember, it's Rooster's World. He has so much information. You have a thing with the Jamaica Oriole, where you're trying to get a selfie with the bird.
When I go out there, I always talk to them and try to get selfie with the bird, even with the croc. The other day I was around our giant swallowtail butterfly.
But that tell me nothing about you.
And I was there.
You take selfie with the crocodile?
Yeah, man, I take a selfie with a crocodile. Yeah.
You're not afraid, really? You're not afraid?
No, we know what we're doing. It's not, we're just not going out there and, all right, let me put it this way. When you work with animals, we learn their behavior and we take certain safety. So you might see us take a selfie, but we put in certain safety measures first. So if we know the temper of the animals, so it's not like you just go out there and jump in front of any animal and do it. Because safety has to come in first.
Okay. What's the best time to go out in terms of these tours? Is it early morning? Or?
It depends on what you're looking for.
Right.
So if you're doing some bird watching, because my first training, I'm an ornithologist, bird. That's the first training that I got.
Yes, I know. The prefix ornament
Right.
bird. I'm not so bad.
No problem, because sometimes when people hear that, they're like, okay. But what I'm trying to say, if you're looking for birds, you would be going out early. So as I said, the early bird catches the early worm. So you go, if you're looking for reptiles, you don't have to go to early, but you go out in time where they will be sunning, because the reptiles are not like us that can control their body temperature, so they have to warm up with the sun. So you go out there when they're warming and you can get to see them. Some of the other reptiles you have to go out in the night, because like our yellow snake is nocturnal, so it's in the night they are moving, so you go out there when they're moving.
School is in session.
If I'm going for bats, it's night work. So a lot of time when I
So why you have us touring green grotto in the day?
Well, the green grotto, no, that's a nature, well, let me put it, that's a nature tour. That's not the...
Okay.
Yeah, if we're carrying you to wildlife stuff, we carry you to a wild cave, you know. No fancy rail or nothing like that. You're going to be climbing on a rock, going through some tight crevices, you know, getting wet, you know. You might see some roaches run across, or a rat, or, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you need to get the real hardcore, man. Yeah? We're not getting fancy lights, no lights on your head. You need hardcore.
All right. So where you find time to be pursuing this PhD in zoology?
Oh, let me give another part. Sometimes a number of stuff that I post to is when I'm there working on my PhD. So like part of it, you have to be writing like, well, it depends on the study that you're doing, so you have to do a literature review. So you'll be reading, my supervisor, which is Dr. Eric Garway, which teaches me a lot. He's my mentor, my big role model, my friend. Tell us that we need to read a lot. And he always tells us all that, not because you're a biologist, you need to be reading economical stuff. You need to be reading sports, you need to be reading widely, and you put all of this knowledge to your PhD. So he's saying if you're doing a bird PhD, don't put your mind that it's only bird, because you're not going to get all of the idea. You don't know where your idea is going to fit, so you have to read widely. So I read a lot widely, and a number of times I'm reading something, find it cool, I never know, so I post it.
Right, yeah.
And I post it with a picture.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
sometime if you check it, the other day I was posting a lot with camera traps. It's my data I'm analyzing and I find something cool. And I am growing up, I wasn't the one who liked to sit down and read a lot. I hyperactive. So I like pictures and stuff like that. So I put pictures with my post.
All right, so you talk about being hyperactive, and that's probably a good way now to talk a little bit about what else you do. So when you're not busy touring, doing all that stuff, working. By the way, he sits on several committees and do all kind of things with NEPA, everything. Anything environmental, Damion is it. All right, and I'm going to give you his telephone number, but just follow him, Roosters_world, and he can tell you anything about his life. Sports, what kind of sports you like?
Okay, so, well, when I was at university, I could say I was the greatest footballer, lying there. But I love football. I used to be a
goalkeeper. You can play?
Yeah, man, goalkeeping is my thing.
Really?
Yeah, man, I see me tall.
Yes, yeah, yes. Tall goalkeepers became a thing in the last 2 decades or so. What Premier League team you support? I know the answer.
I'm a Man U fan forever, you know, Man U forever, you know. We can't.
Okay, who is your favorite player?
Boy, right now, well, I like Rashford right now, but my favorite player of all, I'm a Pele fanatic. I'm a Pele guy.
That shows you that he's not as young as he looks, so don't make the mohawk fool.
Yeah, don't let the mohawk. But you can see the grey hair with the mohawk.
Yeah, but that looks hereditary, so that has nothing to do.
Yeah, I had this grey hair from I was teenage life. I always had it. Right. My grandfather grey early, and on my father's side, my father grey early too, so I got it. So it's either we get the white hair or the red hair. My sister have the red hair.
Oh, yeah. And by the way, his white is with a Y.
Yeah, not a I, the original White, I should say.
Oh, the original White?
I just give it trouble.
Have you done any genealogy? You study?
I want to look at it because when I talked to my father, my grandmother at the time, he was the only son that is white, so that have the name White. So my other uncles have different names, so I was always intrigued where in Jamaica the White is from. So I heard sometimes it's Westmoreland or St. Thomas, so I'm trying my best to find the White.
You don't have no time to do that. But anyway, yeah, that's something. When are you going to finish the PhD, by the way?
My supervisor put me that I need to finish by January.
Dr. Damion Whyte?
Trying to do it. I have a lot of people. My mom can call me every day. She praying and said, hey, she want me to finish it. And my supervisor on my back, he's retiring. Damion, you have to finish.
You have to finish.
Dr. Murphy on my back. She's one of my colleagues. She's one of my role models. She talks straight, and you know a lot of people don't like that. So she called me the other day and she bad me up too.
Yes.
Say I need, so like right now I'm going to take some time and just go lock away and write. Writing is not my favorite. I like to collect the data, but it's part of the PhD life, so I have to do it.
Okay, all right. Food.
Oh, I cook a lot. I'm a foodie.
Ladies, when you hear a man can cook,
Yeah,
what do you like to cook?
Let me put it this way. People laugh at me at my breakfast because when I get up, I start off with a smoothie. My smoothie might be your breakfast. So it's like vegetable oats, all of that protein, all of that. Drink
You just mix up everything?
Mix up and blend that with peanuts and drink that. So that start off like 5:36. And then near to 7 I start is either steamed fish with some banana dumpling or something.
You're
like
real country, man.
Yeah, man. I'm a country. Yeah, man, them something. You know, they look at bread and tea business. Or people go to work and talk, oh, me not eat breakfast. That's not me.
Steamed fish
Yeah,
and
man, steamed fish and
okra and all them things for breakfast.
This morning I two steamed fish me do with that. What me eat with the fried breadfruit, okra, you name it, tomato.
How tall are you? You're over 6 feet, right?
Yeah, I'm 6 feet. Yeah, I'm 6'2".
6'2"?
Yeah, man, love food and then I love my juice too. Carrot juice, soursop juice, you name it. So I'm a foodie.
All right. What's your favorite place to go to outside of Jamaica?
Oh, that's a lot. I love the Caribbean. People, I jump carnival. My mother is a what I call it, is a reverend. So, you know, our bad son.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, Pastor White, yeah. She, you know,
my son is happy that you say you jump carnival.
Yeah, man, I'm a carnival junkie, man. I love it. I've done it in Antigua, Barbados, I've been Trinidad, I've been...
Where do you find the time?
Oh, that's it, you know. One of the beautiful time when you're normal at the university, so they sit on somebody's committee
Committees.
and have meetings. And sometimes the meetings used to go, sometimes they're in carnival. But
Oh,
other than that, I have friends in the environment circle who sometimes need to look at certain stuff.
Yeah.
So I use that opportunity to help out fellow scientists to pay for their travel.
All right, music. Let's talk a little bit about music. What's your favorite?
Oh, boy.
Artist,
it's tough.
male,
music
female?
is tough because I'm a, what do you call it? I listen a lot of genre. I mean, soca time, well, not only soca time, I listen a lot. DJ Private Ryan is one of my big DJ.
Oh, yeah, you would.
Yeah, so I listen a lot of dance, and I'm a Bounty fan. I like Beanie. I like Cartel too. Some people, yeah, man, I like Cartel music. Buju, you name it. I love dancer. And I love ladies. Yeah, man. But,
you mean?
Mommy know that I'm supposed to be a little angel, you know. So yeah, man. But
you still go to church? You visit? Mommy?
Yeah, but I need to go more than no, man. You know, mommy called me every morning. Son, I hope you read the Bible, and she said, you know, the other day she picked up WhatsApp and all of that. You know,
oh dear.
So I have to be careful on my post, no? Because...
Oh, she going on your status?
Yes, man. Mommy, before now, she had tell me what time we're up on it. I nearly dropped down, you know. But I mean, I'm so happy that she using it now because she's one of my role models. Let me put stuff on WhatsApp because mommy not using the other social media. So I make sure I post stuff on WhatsApp.
On WhatsApp,
she can.
right.
Yeah, and she says, Sonny, I do that. Because my mother is literally afraid of lizards. The little poly lizard like that, she's not going in the house. And she called me the other day and she told me, said, boy, after she see all my posts, she not going to trouble the snake in her garden. No, she learn a lot. And that just melt me.
Yes.
That mommy said that.
Isn't that fantastic?
Yeah, man, when your mommy tell you that, you know.
And that's probably a good way to get the rap. one quick message to people who want to come into your field of study. Tell them why is it so important and why you want to encourage youngsters to come in the business.
Well, when I came in the business, there was a lot of youngsters at the university who looked at in the environmental circle.
No man, you can look to that camera. It's all right.
Yeah, so when I came in it, we had a lot of youngsters. But no, we don't have a lot of people to pass on. Mm-hmm. It is very rewarding. It's very nice. It's hard work. Mm-hmm. And if you think you're going to get the big money, whereas a banker, that you're not going to get it. But when you're out there, it's magical, fresh air. You see things that just, ooh, you get a sense of peace. Mm-hmm. And sometimes I can't describe it. You just have to be out there. So I encourage, especially young people, to come out, just try. Mm-hmm. Because you keep on hearing people say, well, we're not getting the experience. But join an NGO, come out on some of the trips, post stuff, just go out there. You know? And all
right. Well, boy, Damion, it's been my extreme pleasure to have you on the show. Damion is a terrestrial biologist. He studies all kinds of things. He's about to do a PhD in zoology. But he loves soca music and he's a foodie. Here him have for breakfast. Steamed fish and okra and everything there. Anyway, this has been show 2 in season 2. And we have had some exciting information so far. Damion, thank you for joining us. It's been my extreme pleasure to have you. Just want to say thanks to the technical team, Ryan Bailey, Ryan Essen, Andre, and all the other fabulous people. And oh, congratulations to Celia. She had her baby. And so you'll see my makeup improving in a little while. We're on location at the Jamaica Pegasus. And of course, remember, the program is brought to you by Strictly Roots Water. My roots, my water. Until next time, straightforward, always a step ahead. Wow.